Today's story is Smile. I was born smiling. No, really, I sat on my mother's womb, covered in a film of blood, while the other babies around me erupted into wails a few minutes later. I was laughing and smiling. As I grew up, I wondered why I was the only one who smiled all the time. Everybody else was so volatile. They screamed, they wailed, they threw tantrums. Even the adults had their limits, and sometimes they got even angrier when they had too much to drink. I was hit all the time. I was even bullied in school for smiling too much. Freak, they said. But I never complained. I kept on smiling and laughing. Can other people smile too? I asked myself that question all the time. Then I decided it was my calling to make them smile. After all, it was best to be happy, wasn't it? I started with Jack. He was never a happy boy. His family beat him, I think. At school, he would sit down at the lunch table and stare at his food, his hoodie over his head. I did everything to make Jack smile. I told jokes, I pulled pranks, but Jack would stare back at me with nothing in his eyes. He was a hopeless case, pun intended. So I decided that desperate times called for desperate measures. I invited him to my house one day. He agreed readily. I think he was willing to be away from his parents for once. Then I knocked him out with some sleeping pills that I mixed with his cola. Once he was asleep and secure to my bed, I got to work. It was all a matter of knife work. I was very pleased with my results. I widened his mouth with my knife, twisted both ends upward into a thin smile. Jack looked a bit like a vampire with blood splattering his face and dripping down on my bed sheets, but it was just a side effect of my genius. When Jack woke up and looked into my bedroom mirror, he screamed. I took that as a thank you. He rushed out the door and never came back, but I didn't mind. He was smiling now. That was all that mattered. After him, I took my knife to school and began my life's work. People tried to run away. I didn't get it. Smiling is good. Being happy is good. I was trying to make their lives better. I was trying to make them happy. I was doing God's work. If you smile, the whole world will light up for you. Now everybody understands. Everybody is smiling. Except for you. You're always frowning all the time. Why? There's so much in the world to laugh and smile about. But don't worry. I'm here. Don't struggle. You'll only make things worse. Just relax. And I promise, you will be smiling in no time.